I was sitting there drinking coffee this morning in the lobby of the hotel where I'm staying. And I know that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So let me just be transparent with you. I was going through a period of doubt and uncertainty. And I was focused so much on my circumstances that I was blinded to the fact that there's opportunity in the waiting. There's opportunity in the silence. And that God's power is made perfect through our weakness. So my weakness is a good place to be. My doubt, however, my uncertainty and my faithlessness is not a good place to be. So as I was sitting there in the lobby this morning, I got heavily convicted. And I'm just going to read to you what hit my spirit. So this is Mark chapter 8, starting at verse 17. And Jesus, aware of this, said to them, "Why are you discussing the fact that you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive or understand? Are your hearts hardened? Having eyes, do you not see? And having ears, do you not hear? And do you not remember?" Do you not remember? You see, God gave us eyes and ears. However, unfortunately, that only goes so far, because we focus too much on what we can see in front of us, what's probable, what looks possible. We start focusing too much on our abilities to alter our circumstances and our situation, and we start cultivating things in our mind, how we're going to get out of it. And God is saying, do you not perceive or understand? Are your hearts hardened? Why are you focused on what you don't have? Why are you focused on what you're lacking? Why are you focused on what's not physically in your hand? Do you not remember? Are your hearts hardened? Has it escaped your memory how many times you have been in a similar position or situation or circumstance and made it out? Have you forgotten? Is it not clear to you who provides, right? He is Jehovah Jireh. He is the God who provides. Your Father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. All the silver and all the gold is his to give. The earth and the fullness thereof belong to him. Why are you focused on the fact that you have no bread? Don't worry about what you don't have. Don't worry about your scarcity. Don't worry about what you're lacking, because your Father owns it all. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Do you not perceive or yet understand that he is the God of abundance? He is the God of multiplication. He is the God of provision. He made you from the dust. He formed something out of nothing. That's what he does. How many times did you look at what was in your hand, and what was physically in your hand wasn't enough? But he is the God of abundance, of increase, of cups running over. So don't focus on what you don't have. Don't focus on what's not in your bank account. Don't focus too far ahead and try to figure out in your own strength, how am I going to make it? How am I going to survive? How is this going to be made possible? You let him figure it out. Sit in the waiting, sit in the silence, and trust God. Lean not on your own understanding. Do not rely on your abilities. Count on his, because your capacity runs out at some point. His does not. There is nothing too hard for him. There is nothing impossible for him. His arm has not been shortened. He's not deaf to your prayers. He hears you. And if there is silence, there's a reason why. Embrace the silence. What you don't want to do, what you never want to do is enter into a place of defeat, of doubt, of faithlessness, of uncertainty. God can move in on your faith, but he does not respond to or move to faithlessness, doubt, and uncertainty. As a matter of fact, it ties his hands. How do we know this? Well, for example, when Jesus went and he wanted to go to his hometown of Nazareth and start healing people, the faithlessness of the people in Nazareth had him in awe. He was amazed. He was even puzzled by it. He marveled at it. How could you not believe? Have you not heard about the miracles, signs, and wonders that I've done? And if you haven't heard about them, you might have even seen them in front of you. How can you doubt me now? After all that you've heard and all that you've seen, that's what God's asking you today. Where is your faith? Never mind what you don't have. Never mind what seems impossible to you. It might be impossible for you. As a matter of fact, it is impossible for you. But what's impossible for you is not impossible for God. Stop focusing on the fact that you have no bread. He is your provider. He is your sustainer. If you're still here today, it's because you were preserved for a time such as this. You were kept. He sustained you. He made sure that your needs were met. Having eyes, do you not see? And having ears, do you not hear? Do you not remember? I encourage you today to ask God to help you remember, to bring to your recollection all the times in the past where you were in a similar place, a similar circumstance, a similar situation, a similar position, and he brought you out. You didn't do it. Don't take the credit. You didn't do it. He moves heaven and earth to answer the cries of his children. But you tie his hands with your doubt and your uncertainty and your faithlessness. He said a man that is double-minded, meaning unsure, uncertain, is unstable in all of his ways. Allow him to be your anchor today and to ground you to his promises, to anchor you to his promises, to understand that he is not a man that he should lie, and everything that he promised you is your rightful inheritance. So stop focusing on what you don't have, because he owns it all. When I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000, how many baskets full of broken pieces did you take up? They said to him, 12. And 7 for the 4,000. The 7 for the 4,000, how many baskets full of broken pieces did you take up? And they said to him, 7. And he said to them, do you not yet understand? God is asking you today, do you not yet understand that your lack doesn't matter to me? Where you are insufficient is not important. And if you will just lean on him, if you will just trust in him, if you will just say, Lord, I know what I can see. I know what seems logical. I know what seems possible. But I'm trusting you, because you told us if we have faith the size of a mustard seed, a tiny seed, that's all he wants from you is a tiny seed, and he will ensure that that